Hello, this is Jonathan Patrick from Affect Effect, and as I mentioned earlier this week, I wanted to talk a little bit about Milton Erickson and conversational hypnosis. Now, as I mentioned in the previous video, Milton Erickson was the one who really took hypnosis into a new direction and came up with the idea of conversational hypnosis. As I had said before, many people had probably actually accomplished conversational hypnosis, although accidentally. Milton was the very first one to really do it on purpose and also be able to utilize those trances. You see, as we go throughout our days, we all experience hypnosis at different points throughout the day. First off, when we wake up in the morning, as we're coming back from sleep, back into wakeful consciousness, that's actually a trance. You actually transition through hypnosis on your way back to consciousness. And also at night when you're going back to sleep, you transition through hypnosis on your way to sleep. So most human beings, twice a day, experience some form of hypnosis. Now, these natural states of hypnosis that we experience also occur whenever we have something that makes us go internal. And what I mean by that is, I'm sure you've had an experience where you were in a classroom or some sort of lecture setting or maybe even a meeting, and all of a sudden you realized that you hadn't been paying attention, that you were so focused on something you were thinking about going on inside of your head that you had completely missed what was going on around you. People were speaking and you don't remember what they said. And oftentimes, what brings us back out of those states is maybe somebody draws our attention. They may call on us, or you find your friend going, "John, hey, are you still there?" And then you come back and sorry, I was thinking about something. And that's really actually a state of hypnosis where you've gone totally internal and blocked out the outside world. And so, like I say, it's a very natural state, and our brains will do that for several different reasons. First off is, like I say, if you're thinking about something very intensely, your brain goes in and searches all your different memories and all your different experiences and actually will create vivid images and sounds and visualizations to help you think about whatever it is you're considering or what decision process you're trying to make. And these are natural states of hypnosis that we experience all throughout the day. Now, one thing that Erikson had figured out is that there were conversational ways that you can get people to have these moments where they go internal. And in the neuro-linguistic NLP world, or in the hypnosis world, what we call those are TDSs. They are transderivational searches. And basically what happens is your mind shuts out the outside world, and it may not be completely, depending on how intensely you have to think about whatever it is you're considering. But you shut out part of the outside world, stop paying attention to it, and go totally internal. And you start recounting different experiences and different thoughts and different sounds and sights and all kinds of different things are going on inside your head, and you're very productive, even though from the outside somebody looking at you thinks, "Man, he's spaced out, he's gone." Okay, but even though you're very productive. Now, one of the conversational ways that Erikson has discovered you can do this is by what is called a nominalization. And a nominalization is actually a conversational piece where you use a word that is used as a noun, but it's actually a process word. And I'll give you an example that's very common in our everyday language, and that word is relationship. And I'll use this one because everybody understands about relationship. So when I use the word relationship, in order for you to understand what it is I'm talking about, you have to go inside your brain and search all your different experiences and all your different memories, and then find something that you can relate to the context of what I'm speaking about. and that is a transderivational search. Now, it may take just a moment. It may take just 1 or 2 seconds, maybe even not that long. It's just but it's that moment in time where you search through your memory banks and then come back and then create that meaning and then come back. And the reason why we have to do that is because a relationship is not a thing. It's not a noun. It's not an actual thing. It's a process. And when we're talking about therapeutic processes, people say, oh, my relationship is bad. Well, one of the ways we can help them with that relationship is help them to realize that it's not a static thing. It's not something that's set in stone. It's a process. It's something that continually moves and continually grows and changes depending on who's involved with that relationship. It's not a static thing. And once they realize that, they realize that they're in a process, they're not in a thing. And so what that allows is flexibility. They can make changes that way. But with conversation, if you use words like this, it causes people to go into these transderivational searches. Another couple words that are very common in our language are communication, education, management. And I use those three because they're very common throughout our everyday conversation. Somebody says, well, we have bad communication. Well, communication is not a thing, it's a process. And they say, well, the education system is bad, or he doesn't have a very good education. Well, education, again, is a process. Management, although it can be a noun referring to the group of people that we call management. Management in the sense of an active process of managing resources and taking care of things is something that's a process. It's not a static thing. Even though in conversation we use them in terms of a noun. We use them just like a noun. So this is one thing that Milton Erickson quickly discovered, is that you can use these words and it causes people to go into a transderivational search. And that is kind of the gateway, or part of the gateway, that leads into a hypnotic trance when you're speaking about conversational hypnosis. So that's just a little bit about what I wanted to talk about today. And that's enough for today. We'll get some more later on when we talk about tag questions and how they can be used in conversation to help people accept suggestions.